Hi folks, today I'll be speaking about a provisional patent application. So if you are an innovator who has already developed an innovation or you are in the process of developing one, this video may be relevant to you because I'll be telling you what is a provisional patent application and how you can draft one all by yourself. So let us see, why do you need to file a provisional patent application? So provisional patent application provides you with a preliminary protection for your invention, which means that once you file this application, you get an earlier date of filing, or maybe that's what is called as a priority date for your innovation. This means that you are recognized as the first filer of that innovation. And if anyone else tries to protect the same invention by filing another patent application after you have filed the provisional patent application, he won't get any protection on that. So he would be refused that protection. So coming to when do you need to file a provisional patent application, it is always advisable whenever you are going for any intended public disclosure. So like I said, you have developed an innovation and now you are going for a business discussion related to that invention, or maybe you are going to publish a paper. Maybe you are a lecturer or a student who has developed something innovative and want to publish a paper. So you should ideally be trying to protect that before you publish that paper. Or else maybe you are launching a product in the market, you are a manufacturer, you have developed an innovative product and you want to protect that, you want to launch that in the market. So you need to file a provisional patent application so that no one else copies it or maybe files another patent application trying to claim your innovation as his own. Also, if you are displaying a product or prototype in an exhibition or a fair, again a public disclosure, then also you need to cover your invention by the way of a provisional patent application. So what are the important steps before you go into drafting a provisional patent application? So you identify what does the invention actually relate to. So since this is your invention, you would already be aware what does it relate to. It might be a product to do some innovative work, or maybe it might be a process to do something, or maybe a composition of a health product. So you need to identify what your invention relates to. It also helps you to frame a title of the invention when you are going into the drafting of the provisional patent application. It also helps you decide the field of the invention as to what technology field the invention relates to. So an important step before you go into drafting of a provisional patent application is that you conduct a prior art search. This is you need to do so as to find out what is already existing similar to your innovation, and so you find out what is already known, or what we call it as the state of the art. So how do you conduct a prior art search? It's somewhat like you do a Google search. There are various free platforms like Google Patents. There is a WIPO Patent Scope website. Then there is a website of the Indian Patent Office. If you are restricting your prior art search only to the Indian jurisdiction, so you can in a way go to these websites and put in the keywords of your innovation. So like if your innovation relates to a composition for a health product, you can write in the search box all these keywords and get different patents or whatever is already existing in the field, and you can read those and find out as to what is the scope of protection that has already been given and what is available for you to claim. So whether your innovation is still in the gray area which has not been covered anywhere in all these prior art documents. Another important consideration is whether you need drawings to explain the invention. It's always advisable to have drawings if your innovation relates to a product, because then it is easy to visualize what your innovation relates to. So I would suggest you should try and prepare basic drawings for the purpose of the provisional patent applications. These drawings could also be hand-drawn drawings, but those should be clear in the sense that the drawings should be able to depict what you want to claim as your innovation. So let us now see what are the parts of a specification that you need to file for a provisional application. So the first part of a provisional application is the title of the invention. This is what identifies what the invention relates to. So in a way, suppose your innovation relates to a communication device for secure communication. So you put the title as a communication device for enabling secure communication. The title could be up to around 15 words. It can be more than that as well, but it is always advisable to use as less words as possible. The next important part of a provisional application is that you need to identify the field of invention. So the field of invention identifies what technology area the innovation relates to. Why this is important? This is not usually important in the case of a provisional application, but once you convert it into a complete specification, the patent office relies on this particular field of innovation invention aspect so as to decide which technology area this application should be assigned to. That helps them for the examination purpose. So like I gave you an example that your innovation relates to a communication device. So your field of invention could say that the invention relates to a communication device for wireless network. Or maybe if your innovation relates to a composition for hair color, so you can always say that the invention relates to composition for hair color. Then comes the background of the invention. So I told you that you need to conduct a prior art search, and that gives you most of the material for the background of the invention. In the background of the invention paragraph, you disclose what is the existing state of the art, or what is there already existing in the same field of invention, what is already there known in the field, and how you are innovating on that what is already known. So after you have indicated that, you indicate what are the problems in the existing state of art. So what were the problems that were being faced due to which you thought of bringing up this invention. So as you did a prior art search, you can always refer to those documents in the background of the invention. You can rely on those and say that this is what is already existing and this is the problem in the existing state of the art. Then what you need to define is what was the need for this invention, what were the drawbacks in the existing prior arts, and why do you need the invention. So what the invention intends to achieve, in a way you try to bring that by pointing out what are the shortcomings in the existing prior art. So you can always say, so for example, that there was a need for a hair color that stays for long periods. So in the prior arts, you couldn't find any hair color that would stay on for longer periods. So there was a need for a hair color that would stay on for longer period. Or maybe there was a need for a communication device that ensures secure communication. So whatever prior arts you found, you couldn't find any device that was enabling a very secure communication. So that was the need that was felt in the prior art, and based on that you have developed your innovation, and in a way you say that your innovation is satisfying that need. The next important part of a specification is brief description of drawings. So as I said, you may have drawings in your provisional application that you may use to explain your invention in a better manner. There may be cases where you don't have any drawings. It may be a process, or it may only be a composition. So you need not have those drawings for that. But ideally, it is advisable to have some drawings for explaining your innovation if you can do that. So the brief description of drawings provides a very brief description of what each drawing relates to. So suppose there are different figures that you may have included. So for example, I have taken the communication device example, and here I have said that there are two figures. So figure 1 depicts a block diagram of the communication device, and figure 2 depicts a flow chart of a method that is implemented in the communication device of figure 1. So this is how you can correlate the figures and also point out what each figure relates to. And finally, you come to the description of the invention, which is the most important part of a provisional application. This is the portion where you will define what the invention actually is, what you have developed. So you won't describe it in any of the previous sections. You will describe it in the description of invention. So here you will define what are the features of your innovation, or maybe what are the steps of the process that you have developed, and how that invention is achieving the intended goal. So in a way, how the features are working together and how they are enabling the different steps or maybe a process so as to achieve what the invention intends to achieve. One particular aspect that you need to take care of is, in the provisional application, you need not describe everything in detail. That is a thing which we need to leave for the complete specification, because complete specification is where you describe your innovation in exact details. You bring out all different aspects. But here, this is only a provisional protection that you are seeking. So what you can do is you can define your innovation in a very broad manner and just specify as to what is the crux of your innovation and how you are doing it by using these particular features, or maybe you are conducting these particular steps, but you need not go into the exact detail. Also, a word of caution that your provisional application or the specification should at least define what your innovation is, even if you are not going into the exact details. So there has to be balance between how much you are going to disclose. The provisional specification should at least bring to the notice of the reader as to what your innovation relates to, so as to be able to get a fuller protection on your innovation. So what is the ideal length of a provisional application? Well, there is no set parameter for that. The length should be enough for you to explain the innovation as broadly as possible, but it should also disclose whatever is the innovative aspect of your innovation. So let us now understand parts of a provisional application using a specimen provisional draft. So this invention relates to reflectors that are there provided on road, which has a self-cleaning mechanism so that the reflector can clean itself whenever there is dirt deposited on the reflector. The reflector is also put in a manner so it has a reflecting mechanism which throws light to a greater distance so that it is visible from distant places, so as to help in foggy conditions. So first aspect, title. So this is how we have written a title. We have broadly put it across as a visual guidance system for pathway safety. So you can use a simple title as well. There's no hard and fast rule regarding having a very broad title. You can put in a self-cleaning reflector for roads or something like that. Then comes the field of the invention. So as I said, the field I have specified as it relates to a field of pathways safety equipment. So this is generally relating to the field of reflectors that are put on road, or maybe safety equipment that are put on the roads. And in particular, it relates to the visual guidance system adapted to be installed on pathways. So now I have specified a broad field, and then I have categorized it into a very specific field. So this is another way of writing it. You can always also write it in a broad manner. Then comes the background of the invention. Here I have explained what is the technology all about, and also what is the existing technology or state of the art. So here I have disclosed that there are different type of reflectors that are kept on the road, and what is the difficulty that is faced by the driver in view of those existing reflectors. So if you remember, I had pointed out you need to point out what the invention is, and then you need to point out what were the drawbacks or shortcomings in those. So this is where I have pointed out. You can just read by taking a screenshot, or maybe pausing the video for a while. This is how I have written what are the different problems that were existing in the existing technology or the state of the art. Thereafter, I've specified what is the need for the invention. So, in view of those shortcomings, what is the requirement that is there which remains unsatisfied and which would be tackled by the present invention? So, it says that there is a need for a solution that enables a visual guidance of a driver during foggy conditions. So, this is what is the intended objective of the invention. It also says that there is a requirement for a visual guidance system which can provide visual guidance for a prolonged period, so it doesn't get dirty and it can clean itself. So these are the requirements from the existing solutions, and we are in a way proposing a solution to all these problems. Then we go to brief description of drawings. So I have included one drawing which is there in the end. I'll show that to you, and this is how I have written about the brief description of the drawing that is there. So it just says it illustrates a visual guidance system for pathways. So whatever is the title, we have just put it here. So we have just included one figure. You may have different figures. You can refer to all of them here. If there was another figure, you could have put figure 2 relates to, and whatever was the figure relating to. And then we come to the detailed description. So this is where the detailed description starts, and it starts here where we say that what the invention is, and we are just saying that the invention would be explained in conjunction with figure 1. So if you have figures, it always helps to explain your innovation in conjunction with that particular figure. So here we have defined all the different features that are there in the invention, and then what are the intended objectives of each of the parts and how they work. So this is how we have defined it. I'll just give you an example of what I had mentioned about broad details. So if you see, I've mentioned about a circuit being there, which is used to control LEDs, and there is a particular feature called SMM. So I've just put in what are the different features. I've not explained the circuit diagram, or maybe how they are connected, or what each is doing. So in a way, I'll broadly define that there is a circuit which is used for putting out light in the reflector, and the SMM is used for cleaning of the reflector. But how these devices are connected to each other, how these features are connected to each other, I'll go in the complete specification and define that whenever the appropriate time is there for that. So if you see here, I've just defined what the circuit is programmable to do. So I've just specified the functioning of the circuit. circuit. So I defined the various features, and then I defined the functioning of that circuit. It just defines what is the intended goal of that particular circuit. So this is how we'll keep it broad, but while also disclosing the details of the invention. So just to give you another example, here if you see, it says that the SMM cleans the module periodically, but how it is cleaning the module, we are not disclosing it as of now. But suppose now this is the only innovative aspect. Suppose a reflector was already known which had all these features, and SMM was the only innovative aspect. This is what you have developed newly. So then you have a duty to, in a way, disclose that in the provisional application, because that's what you are claiming protection for. So that decision you have to take in view of what is there existing in the prior art, and if you have developed something, you should ideally disclose that in your provisional application. So this is the figure that I had referred to earlier. You can see I've put in, this is figure 1. I've put in reference numerals for the different elements, and I've referred to these reference numerals whenever I've been disclosing the different features. So this is what I had to share regarding provisional patent applications. If you have liked the content, hit the like button and please subscribe to the channel. And if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments box and I'll be happy to answer those. Thank you very much.